So today, we want to talk about one of the personality traits, and that is what? Agreeableness. Now, we have certain personality traits in the five-factor model or in the general per se of personality traits. And in agreeableness, we're talking about how much someone is able to get along with other people. Now, firstly, what is personality trait? Personality trait speaks about how much somebody behaves, why they behave in certain ways, and also talks about how they're able to relate with themselves and how they are able to relate with people around them. So personality traits is sort of like the defining factor or the label to how we behave, and it also explains certain psychological phenomenon that also what is sort of like what scientifically backed. What is agreeableness? Agreeableness is the tendency for someone to be able to get along with other people. Now, agreeableness, if I bring that down to the street, we talk about waiting, how percentage they roll with other people. You get? So the ability to be able to see your neighbor and you don't see your neighbor as an enemy, or the level to which you see friendliness in your neighbor. That's agreeableness on the street. So when we talk about agreeableness, now there is the extremes on both ends, and there's also the middle ground in which people play or how agreeable they are. When we talk about agreeableness on the high traits, we're talking about how much somebody is able to be very cooperative, very kind, and also very compassionate. You get those soft kind of people. You know them like the Mr. Nice kind of guys.
Nice guys are bad boys.
Bad boys.
Now, when we talk about the agreeableness on the other extreme, we're talking about how competitive somebody is. We're talking about how antagonistic somebody is and how much somebody wants to be able to get to ride along or be in charge to some level in regards to certain subjects on discourse.
All this grammar like this in English.
Yes.
Now, which angle do you fall into? Do you fall into the extremes on the high side of the personality traits, or you fall under the lower side of agreeableness, whereby you are the person who wants to fight for their right, or you are on the high side in which you are the Mr. Nice, the Mr. Kind, the Mr. Lovable, in which everyone's opinion is cool with you. Now, this is both extremes to which we have for agreeableness. So, people with high agreeableness are people who tend to thrive in construct or in places where teamwork and social harmony is very, very important. Now, when I mean teamwork, I'm talking about the need for people to work together, to come together and set up certain goals and be able to achieve them as a team. Now, agreeableness can be very, very linked with high level of cooperativeness or high level to be able to stay coordinated with the team. Other than teamwork, high agreeableness is very, very essential also for social harmony. So in places where social harmony is very, very important or very necessary or needful, in such places high agreeableness is a trait that must be found in one or two of such people who are in that gathering. What am I trying to say is this: high agreeableness in its relevance in today's world is very, very important and key germane to helping create society where there is less conflict and high degree to harmony and peaceful living. So agreeableness is one of the very essential traits we need to build in team members, in family members, in friends, anywhere there is a get-together of people. Now, agreeableness is going to be very key in helping to build cohesion and also to reduce conflict in communities. It's going to help to reduce conflict and bring about harmony in online interaction. Those social media groups you are having, the WhatsApp group, the Facebook groups, your channels and all of that you have people engaged in there. Agreeableness is very, very key. It's a trait that is very, very essential, even in our communities at large, in schools and every environment that has to do with the human. Apart from social conflict, understanding agreeableness can also help us to improve workplace dynamics. Now, agreeableness is one of the forces that helps in enhancing and developing growth in the workplace. Teams that have high agreeableness, they have three constructs that can be achieved with high agreeableness. I will tag them as 3 C's. C, C, C. Now, high agreeableness is linked with a more effective communication. High agreeableness is linked with better collaboration between team members, and also high agreeableness is very, very germane to a good or a better workplace culture. So communication, collaboration, and enhanced work culture. In essence, the thing why they try talk be say team members, that is people wey be say they come together, wey be say they get high level of agreeableness. They have a tendency to be able to reach out with one another, to communicate. You get wey be say somebody talk, another person understand. You get it's one thing for person to talk, another thing for another person to understand. With high agreeableness, person wey talk go get person wey go understand inside the team. That's construct number one.
You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.
Construct number two is what? Collaboration. Now, team that has high agreeableness, in essence, is that they no dey carry the fight anyhow. The person wey dey for down understand say the person wey dey for up na him be the oga at the top. Now, there is this bureaucratic organization with team with high agreeableness, such that you are respecting each person and giving honor due to what each level of what team members, and not necessarily for level in terms of ranking, but also in terms of what being a part of the team. You give high esteem to each other and you can collaborate with one another. And the last of it all, which is the workplace culture. When team or team members understand each other and they understand the roles that they play and they understand the goals that is to be achieved. You get wey be say everybody understand wetin they dey here for. Everybody understand wetin they supposed they do. You get and everybody understand the target, the thing wey be say that they aim for. You get at that level, we say that what the team has high agreeableness because they can achieve the three construct, which is what high communication, enhanced collaboration, and a very good or ethical workplace culture. It is very important to understand that high agreeableness can be linked with mental health. You don't hear a lot of people when they go tell you say, my mental health they at stake. My mental health is at stake. You get now, your mental health is very, very germane to well-being. So supportive social interaction where people are inclined with a goal and they are aligned with one another is essential for well-being of an individual or of the group. In the same vein, when we have a supportive and a positive social interaction, it helps people to navigate through stress. So problem not the finish. You get you've heard it over time. Say problem not the finish. Maybe try to enjoy yourself. Now everybody's going through a lot, but the idea is you have to go through a lot.
I'm passing through a lot too.
Don't just be in a lot. You know, the passing through a lot is actually what I mean by navigating stress. So when you have a positive social interaction or you are in a social group where there is positive relationship, there is a high tendency for each and everyone to be able to navigate through stress positively. And then lastly, it also helps in times of emotional challenges. Likes of, let's say we have somebody who's going through the loss of a loved one, heartbreak, or something that is germane to their emotional well-being. Having a positive social interaction can also help as a support or as a social buffer in such situations.
It can be possible. How? It can be possible. How?
High agreeableness can be linked and has a very high degree of correlation with mental health outcomes. When we talk about mental health, you often hear in this 21st century, people talk, my mental health is important. My mental health, it is very necessary. You get, and everybody's trying to shout mental health, mental health, mental health. Now, it brings us to the understanding that when you have a supportive social interaction, it's essential for well-being of the individual and of the group. It also helps to navigate through stress, such that when someone is going through some tough times and they feel stressed and drained, with that positive interaction or that positive group, there is a high tendency for people to find social support and to find a buffer in such situations and instances. And lastly, such positive social interactions also help to overcome emotional challenges. Discussing agreeableness and its relevance in today's world, the last point I'll mention in that regard is online interaction. Now, agreeableness is very key germane in maintaining a positive community on the internet space. We're living in a world right now where we have physical space, and we also have the online space where it looks like the real world is in a virtual place. Now, the importance of agreeableness can never be overemphasized in its usefulness in helping to enhance communication in groups online and also to reduce cyberbullying. We have situations where people will be on the same group online and not necessarily on a WhatsApp group, even in a classroom group or in a staff group in a company of staffs. Now, it reduces cyberbullying and also helps to bring about team cohesion. Cyberbullying in the sense that when people have an idea of what is to be achieved and they also have a unifying strength in terms of high agreeableness, the tendency to bully on the cyberspace is very, very much reduced, and also harmony is achieved on the long run.